Day, everybody. This is the menu that we put together for you. Everything that we're doing here in the video today, all the containers you see are actually for 2 portions. But if you're celebrating Valentine's Day virtually, maybe with your Valentine in maybe another city or another country even, so you're eating for 1, your menu will look a little bit different when it comes to you, but the food will be exactly the same. Just want to make that clear. Anyway, first course this week we have beautiful Japanese Thai snapper, wild Japanese Thai. It's going to come to you in this lovely little container, and it's sitting on a gelée which is called tozazu jelly, which is a very traditional sort of like Japanese dressing for fish, which is made with dashi, brown rice vinegar, and regular rice vinegar, a little bit of soy sauce, all sorts of lovely, delicious things. And then it's fortified with bonito flake to give it more umami. And it has a beautiful like amber hue, and it's going to be sitting on the bottom of the container when you get it. So what I want you to do is pick up the little rows of Thai snapper right there, and then on the other side you're going to pick up the little cucumber pile with marinated red onion as well. And then you're going to come back to this container and you're just going to break it up with a spoon like that. And you see this beautiful amber gelée, which is just rich with flavor. And what I want you to do is just spoon it here beside the fish, just like that. And then I want you to season the fish just lightly with Maldon salt, which we provided. And then we're going to give you a little squeeze bottle, which is filled with an oil which is made with mushrooms, wild mushrooms, and lemon zest. And I want you to just moisten the fish with this beautiful olive oil. And that's that. Bring it to the table. You can plate the other one for your Valentine, of course. And that's the first course. So for our next course, second course in this menu, we're using one of my favorite ingredients. I think one of the best ingredients that California has to offer, the Santa Barbara spot prawn. Season opens every year right at the 1st of February, and it goes all the way until Halloween usually. So this course is going to be beautiful Santa Barbara spot prawns, and then they're surrounded by beautiful spring vegetables. So you have a couple of different types of radishes, turnips, baby carrot, artichoke, and of course sweet peas. First of the season, and there's going to be a little bit of a prawn jus in the bottom of the bowl, or the bottom of the container. And what I want you to do is just take this, pop it in a 375-degree oven for about 5 minutes till everything's hot. It's just that simple. And then go to the table, maybe open a bottle of wine, maybe a bottle of champagne would be good with this. Of course, I think David picked out some wines to go with this, so maybe open the next bottle in your wine pairing, sit down, and begin a nice conversation with your Valentine. So with the Santa Barbara spot prawn, you're probably gonna want the bread. So Mac and Kathy have made this beautiful little bowl with the Hatch Me Grain Project flowers. And we're going to give you a little salted butter on the side. So you might want to pop that in the oven when you pop the prawns in the oven. About 5 minutes, it'll come back to life, be nice and hot. And just bring it to the table and break bread with your Valentine. So this week, like weeks past, there's a couple different purees and a couple different sauces that come with the menu. So we're going to set up that water bath. Standard saucepan, put a towel on the bottom, put it on the fire, get everything hot. Put your sauces and your purees in there. They'll stay hot while you enjoy the rest of your meal. So once 5 minutes have passed, we're going to retrieve our prawns from the oven. And you'll see all that butter will have melted away. There you go. So how are we going to plate it? Well, it's pretty simple actually. First, what I would suggest you do is grab the prawn and pull it out and put it right there in the middle of the bowl. Because after all, this is a prawn dish, and so we really want to highlight the beauty of the prawn. And then you're just going to spoon all of these lovely vegetables and the peas around the plate, just like that. Make sure you split them up equally. Don't cheat your Valentine. Make sure everybody gets the same number of peas in each container. So make sure everybody gets their 67 peas. We're gonna give you a couple of herbs. We have little pea tendrils and mint that you can just pop around the bowl like that. You don't have to go too crazy with it. But a few little garnishes, some little mint plushes here. The mint really complements the flavor of the spot prawn and the prawn jus very well. So that's that. Now, in this little squeeze bottle right here is a little spearmint oil. So you're gonna put a couple drops of spearmint oil around the plate, just in the empty spaces around the spot prawn. And then I'm gonna go and retrieve the prawn jus. So the prawn jus has been sitting in our double boiler there. It's nice and hot now. And if you want, you can put this in a microwave, but don't put this container in the microwave because the container that we give you is not microwave proof. So anyway, finish the dish with that spot prawn jus, maybe a couple more drips of mint oil, and you're ready to go. Off to the races. Maybe, if you like, you can put a little bit of Maldon salt on the prawn. Looks good, no?
Yeah,
Well, almost like a professional did it.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, next course. One of my favorite fish actually in the world, John Dory from New Zealand. Wild fish. If you come and look close at this, you'll see that the John Dory is wrapped with Swiss chard. And underneath, see, it's a little mosaic. These are all individual fillets of John Dory, and in between them is black truffle. And then it's wrapped in Swiss chard. And we put this little cap on the whole thing like that, so that the fish will keep its color when you pop it in the oven. It's surrounded by, these are actually pied de mouton mushrooms and salsify, which is also known as oyster plant. And then we're serving this with a truffle sauce. In order to get the course ready, first thing you want to do is moisten everything with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, and then we're going to pop it in the oven. Again, 5 minutes, maybe 7 minutes. So for our John Dory course, we have two other elements. We have right here a salsify puree, and then we have a little black truffle sauce, which was made with the jus from the mushrooms, a little bit of chicken broth, and then finished with black truffle. So these two things have been sitting in our water bath while the fish is heating. As a matter of fact, you can put them in when you start the meal, at the very beginning of the meal, and you won't have to worry about it. The sauce won't break. This will stay nice and hot. And they're ready to go, they're seasoned. All you gotta do is put them on the plate. So we'll show you how to do that once the fish is hot. So now it's nice and hot. You can take this little cover off, and you'll see the fish still has beautiful color. I'm gonna finish with a little bit of Maldon salt right on the top. I'm gonna pull this guy out, and I'm gonna put it off to one side of the plate, just like that. Then I'm gonna take these mushrooms, our pied de mouton and our salsify, and I'm gonna scatter them around the plate. No rhyme or reason, just make it look nice. Try to keep it clean, just like that. So here's our salsify puree. Give it a good stir. Gather it up on a spoon, on the side of a spoon like that, and we're gonna do a quenelle, which is pretty simple. Look, nice clean spoon. Just take it, drop it on the plate like that, and all of a sudden you look like a professional. Now our sauce, give it a good stir, make sure it's hot, and just a few little drops around the plate in the empty spaces, just like that. And there you go, that's your John Dory. Last but not least, we have our Wagyu beef. So Wagyu in the middle, of course. These are old school pomme fondant, which are potatoes braised with chicken broth and thyme and rosemary and salt and pepper. And so this is like a little gratin of leek with a beef shank and Dijon mustard. We're gonna pop this in the oven about 5 minutes, and it'll be just ready to go. So we have two more accompaniments for the Wagyu beef. So one is, this is actually the braising liquid, or the jus from the braising of the shanks. So this is like a typical Bordelaise sauce. And you see on top there's a layer, it's separated there. So on the bottom is a Bordelaise sauce, on the top is just pure Wagyu fat. And instead of using butter in the sauce or finishing the sauce with butter, which you often do, we've finished it with Wagyu fat. If I give it a quick shake like that, it comes together. And then here, in this squeeze bottle, we have a puree of black truffle. So black truffle season's still going on. It's what makes spring one of my favorite times of the year, because you have the convergence of two seasons, spring and winter. So winter's tailing off, and so are those winter ingredients, and spring is just beginning. We're using elements from both seasons in this menu, of course, and this, obviously one of my favorite ingredients from winter, which is black truffle. So our beef is hot, our leeks are hot, our potatoes are hot, so now what I'm gonna do is, first I'm gonna do the potato on the plate right here. Just gonna put that here to one side. Of course, you can do this whichever way you want. Don't let me tell you how to plate your food. You're the one eating it. And either way, even if you muck up the plating, it doesn't matter. It's still gonna taste good. So there's that. Now the beef. We're gonna take it. We're gonna put it on our cutting board. Now I'm gonna take this truffle puree, and I'm gonna make a little landing strip there for the beef, right in the middle of the plate. You can do whatever you want with it. You can go like that. And now, Wagyu. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna just cut this right in the middle. Put it in the middle, sitting on a little truffle puree there. I'm gonna finish with just maybe a couple grains of Maldon salt, as we always do. Now I'm gonna take this Bordelaise sauce, give it another good shake to incorporate the Wagyu fat. I'm gonna put a little bit on the meat. I'm gonna put a little bit on the potato. I'm gonna put a little bit on the leek. And I'm gonna put a little bit on the plate around the beef. Then I'm gonna take off my mask directly into my mouth, because it's so delicious, and you'll want to do that too. So for dessert, Mac and Kathy have made a dark chocolate tart, Valrhona dark chocolate tart, with Pugwell raspberries and a little raspberry caramel. So the raspberry caramel, you're just going to take it and just put a little bit in the tart, and it'll just kind of fall through the berries, just like that. Inside is a dark chocolate ganache, and the pâte sucrée that the tart is made with rye flour from Tehachapi Grain Project. You put a little bit of raspberry caramel right next to it, and she's done. And then for a bonbon, Mac has made a rhubarb and rose bonbon. And that's the meal, guys. That wraps up Valentine's Day 2021. We hope you enjoyed this meal. Thanks again for your continued support. Let's hope that we get back to business as usual. Once again, thanks for the support. We'll see you here at Providence soon.